agencies. In one case, they switch from one filing system to another, then back again, wasting taxpayer dollars. Russell Stroud, Nuga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
It's been lots of sunshine out there for your afternoon. Chilly, but not as breezy. Highs lower 40s. Tonight, fair. Some late clouds, lows closer to 30. Cloudy Thursday. A few spotty showers will pass through. Highs upper 40s. More scattered showers for Friday. Highs upper 50s and near 60. Looking for a new career? Georgia Northwestern Technical College is where you need to be, featuring over 200 programs. Get focused. Get hired. Spring admissions deadline is December 3rd. More at gntc.edu. And I'm Storm Gene 12, Chief Meteorologist, Actor 4.
Radio 92.7.
Come see the Chattanooga Zoo transformed into a magical winter wonderland. Visit the animals and watch them open their gifts. Have your picture taken with Santa Claus, play holiday games and make crafts, or just enjoy the beauty of the zoo covered in lights at their annual Holiday Lights event every Friday and Saturday night in December, right up until December 22nd. It's the most wonderful time of year at the Chattanooga Zoo. For ticket pricing and information, go to chatzoo.com.
Nuga Radio 92.7's First Responder Friday.
If you would like to nominate a first responder for First Responder Friday, email nugaradio@gmail.com. nugaradio@gmail.com.
Nuga Radio 92.7's First Responder Friday.
Celebrate the holidays at the Chattanooga Symphony and Opera's annual family tradition, Home for the Holidays, December 15th and 16th at the Tivoli Theater. Enjoy a concert filled with lively and classic holiday tunes from the most wonderful time of the year, as the CSO is joined by the CSO Chorus, Metropolitan Bells, and guest vocalist Dee Danasco. Pictures with Santa will be part of the festivities. Tickets are available by calling 423-267-8583 or online at chattanoogasymphony.org.
The station you hear everywhere. Nuga Radio 92.7.
Good morning. It's your girl Marie Mott with Marie Mott Show. Y'all know what it is. I'm taking it from the streets to City Hall, from City Hall to the mayor's office. Can't leave out the police department, from the valley low to the mountaintop. Giving you guys a bird's eye view to what's going on here in the city of Chattanooga. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's happy hump day to everybody. It's Wednesday. We made it to the middle of another week. You are listening to the hottest show on air at any given point in time in the city of Chattanooga. It's your girl Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show, talking about what's going on here in the city of Chattanooga, keeping you informed on what is happening. That maybe if you're working, if you're busy, you're taking care of family, you're just doing the everyday things that you got to do to take care of yourself and your family, you may miss out on some things. Everybody doesn't have time to watch the news. Everybody can't make it down to a city council meeting, but I continue to preach that even if you can't be there in person, you know what you can do? Go to YouTube and type in Chattanooga City Council, and you will find that they have a YouTube channel, and they should be uploading. And in the chance that they do not upload that, do not hesitate to contact the city of Chattanooga, because they should be posting. And this is 2018. I don't understand why they won't go live on Facebook, them as well as our county government. This is 2018. This should be streamed live on social media as well. But maybe one day they'll catch up. But for now, you can see recorded meetings on YouTube. So that's still, even if you can't make it down in person, it's no excuse. Whenever you have some time, set aside some time, because you need to see where your tax dollars are going. You need to see what people are voting on, what they're not voting on, what is being discussed. You need to see the end where non-agenda items and people get to address the council. You need to see what people in the community are talking to the council about and what they're trying to hold them accountable for. And so if you're not involved, then you will not see what I'm talking about, what I'm going to talk about today. Another episode talking about corruption. And I have the proof. I can connect the dots. But at the end of the day, if we, the people, you and I, are not sick and tired of being sick and tired, meaning that we're not going to call up the mayor and say, sir, what are you doing?
You are the CEO of the city of Chattanooga. Why is this happening under your watch? Now, I know people are friends with the mayor. They're friends with Andy. You go, some people get to sit down with him and eat with him, and people get to hee-haw with him and joke with him. But when business is business, good people, when it's time to take care of business, and we find out every week, every other week, that there's another episode of a mismanage of funds within the city that is taxpayer dollars, that, my people, that is corruption. And who is going to just hold people accountable and say enough is enough? Now, let's not act like in 2003 we didn't already experience this on a statewide level. Come on. Anybody remember Tennessee Waltz? Now, at that time, I was in 9th grade. I'm a grown woman now. And so I couldn't hold anybody accountable in 2003. But at 30 years old, being a full-grown adult, the wartime consigliere can hold people accountable. And we're going to talk about several things here because I addressed the council last night because some people may think, they may think the only thing that I have to talk about is police brutality or the homeless. And while those are two very serious problems that we have in the city of Chattanooga, I have to take it a step further. The reason that we have homeless is because we don't invest in them. And part of the reason why we don't invest in them is because people are wasting taxpayer dollars. Or people are not collecting $26 million in abated taxes, as said by Helen Burns Sharp on atmchat.com. Come on, follow me, keep up with me, because I put the information out there, and good people, this is a problem, and it's not obviously going away. Our silence, the people's silence, we see this, and I know people talk because I've lived in the city all my life. I know people get in their neighborhood association meetings and their personal households. When they go to dinner, over the dinner table, they're whispering and they're talking about all of these things that we see. But when are we going to come out of the shadows and say that we're tired of our taxpayer dollars not being spent wisely? And that we have young people out here that need things in the city, things to do. And if we're wasting taxpayer dollars, it's no wonder why they get in trouble. If we see people wasting taxpayer dollars and we know that we walk by homeless people on the street, what is wrong with us? I wouldn't say that the worst problems with leadership, they're exploiting us because we're allowing them to exploit us. They're stepping on us because we allow them to step on us. 800-8949. If you want to call and talk to me, I am streaming live on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM Facebook page. And I want to make it emphatically clear because, surprise, surprise, I live in District 8. So that is Anthony Byrd's district. We've had a lot of issues going on in District 8. We've had an increase in gun violence in District 8 under Anthony Byrd's watch. We have had the proposal of taking Harriet Tubman and making that into manufacturing, the property into manufacturing when the community wants housing. And again, that we continue to have pilots. I don't see how anybody could believe in their righteous mind that this government that we live in is transparent when we have so many watchdogs, in particular, like Helen Burns Sharp. If you just read the information, how do we have transparency when we don't even know the clawback provisions for a pilot agreement? Meaning that once we give people our tax dollars and freeze their taxes for 10 or more years, when it's time for them to pay that money back, how do we ensure that that money finds its way back to the people? And when it becomes a situation where we're handing out in Hamilton County and in the city of Chattanooga, we've handed out more pilots than any other county in this state, often that are larger than our county. And $26 million we're walking away from. And go back 2 weeks from this past Tuesday and look at the agenda meeting session on YouTube for the city council meeting. The agenda session where We had Public Works give a presentation about stormwater fees. And we have a situation to where UTC, the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, as well as government buildings within the county, owe the city of Chattanooga nearly $10 million. And you have council members like Ledford who say that I can't go after UTC, who I know owes the city money because I graduated there. And then you have a lawyer like Councilwoman Burrs, who will say that this is illusory debts, meaning that we should just forget about it and move forward. This $10 million is a lot of money, people. You're telling me that there are big entities and buildings and the county owes the city money, the people money. And nobody, with the exception of Councilman Gilbert, was the only one out of 9 people. 1 out of 9 asked the city attorney. Only one asked the city attorney, how can we get that money back? Because $10 million is a lot of money to walk away from. How do we get that money back? And lo and behold, the only way you can get that money back is if you put a lien on the county or a lien on UTC, or if you actually sue them. And then there is a time frame to do that because of statute of limitations. So do we understand what that means? That means that not only do we need to get that money, but we need to get that money right now. And interestingly enough, I've seen community members petition the council, in particular for our youth here in the city of Chattanooga, when it comes to parks and recreation, for Little League baseball and football investments into the fields, like the baseball fields and different things that we have throughout the city. And as always, we always get the same answer, is that it's not enough money to go around. Well, folks, if your government is walking away from collecting $36 million, how is it that we don't have enough money? I'm just asking, how is it that we don't have enough money? If they're not collecting $26 million from businesses that made a legal binding agreement to have their taxes frozen for 10 plus years, and it comes time for us to collect that money and we too scared to go get it, is that the people's fault that we don't have enough money, or is it the fact that we have people in power that just don't have any courage? Oh, yeah. Wartime consiglieri's got her hat on today because I'm sick and tired of this. Now, so let's just listen to the evidence, because I'm all about the people hearing what's going on, and maybe you didn't catch it. So let's start from the top.
Your tax dollars wasted.
A city audit revealed the city of Chattanooga blew more than $1 million of taxpayer money on projects they never used.
Kylie Thomas shows us how the money ended up being mismanaged. Kylie.
Well, Josh and Latricia, we sifted through this city audit completed in September. We discovered Chattanooga wasted over $1 million in software purchases, and the city also mismanaged another $1 million. That money is actually tax dollars. Chattanooga's auditors have one mission: make sure the city isn't wasting your money.
It all comes from the taxpayers. You are correct.
Stan Sewell discovered in the past 4 years, over $2 million can be classified as mismanaged. All of that money is coming from you, the taxpayer.
That we weren't planning on the front end really well for all the pieces that fit together.
According to the audit, 7 of the 8 software projects they sampled failed. For example, the city bought handheld machines to issue traffic tickets. Records show they were not used for 2 years because they were out of date. So the city had to buy new ones.
If you spend a bunch of money for a piece of software to accomplish a goal and you don't accomplish that goal, in effect, you've wasted that money.
The city auditor discovered more tax dollar waste at recreation centers. The city bought software that allows people to book classes online, but it turns out only 8 of the 17 locations can use it. These purchases are costing taxpayers over $1 million. You can see it here on the screen. The city auditor tells me it's partial waste because the systems are being used to some extent, but then there's a separate program that wasted over $1 million completely of taxpayer dollars.
It just failed. They sort of went back to the old method of processing.
You'll find that problem at the city courthouse. According to the audit, the city spent $1.1 million to convert paper files to electronic records. It failed because of poor planning and a lack of training for employees.
We're looking at assigning accountability. Who is responsible for making sure that our staff are competent or trained to use this software?
The auditor tells me the city needs a formal process to show how that they do have the funds and the resources to justify these purchases. Now, we did reach out to the IT department, but we are still waiting to hear back on their progress. As for the mayor's office, they tell me they're actively looking into what's being done to make sure these mistakes don't happen again. Patricia.
All right, good people. That's just a taste of what I got for you guys today. But this 800-8949, because I know that there has got to be somebody out here who is sick and tired of seeing this. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Has anybody called into accountability this ridiculous bike share program that is a complete waste of taxpayer dollars? I don't see anybody using those bikes downtown. Unless I lived in this city all my life, there's hardly anywhere that you can turn in this city where you are not going to encounter a hill or if you were riding a bike, what would seem like a mountain. Come on, folks. $26 million abated by taxes and $9 million, almost $10 million in stormwater fees that nobody but Councilman Gilbert. And when I spoke to him last night, I went up and talked to him last night. The man looked so tired because nobody, not of 8 other people, not one other person came to his aid saying, yes, we need to go collect this money because we only have a small amount of time to do this. And each one of our districts, in particular, when we talk about the representatives of inner city districts, our districts have needs, immense needs. How can we not go get this money? 800-8949 if you want to call and chop it up with me. But it's mighty funny how these proposals, because if you actually go, this was News Channel 9 who actually did this report. If you go and look at the video, if you understand how this works, the only way that any of these companies or corporations can get money is if a proposal is coming either from the council or from the mayor's office. And considering that this is a city of Chattanooga or was a city of Chattanooga initiative, the mayor and the council both are involved. And so who's responsible for what happens within the city government? Well, is that not the mayor? So how is it that the mayor doesn't know what's going on? And how is it that the city of Chattanooga doesn't know what's going on? $10 million in stormwater fees. Do you know how long it took for that to be compacted? And finally, a presentation comes from Public Works letting the city council know about this, as if they shouldn't know about this anyways, because the last time I checked, each council member is responsible for a committee. 10 years. UTC and the county hasn't paid stormwater fees in 10 years. This $2 million of taxpayer dollars that was wasted happened over the course of 4 years. And a good portion of the people on city council are incumbents. And the last time I checked, the mayor has been in the mayor's office pretty close to now about 6 years. How do we have people in positions of power that do not know what's going on? Money gets wasted. How do we recoup this money back? But nobody either ends up being held accountable and getting fired, or really and how I feel about this corruption, nobody ends up in handcuffs. 800-8949 if you want to call and talk to me. Christopher Dahl, I appreciate you, and he's completely right. If you want to call the state comptroller, it's 1-800-232-5454 or 615-741-2501. Do we need to get the FBI involved? And I'm asking legitimate questions because this is not a game. I'm seeing too many things happening in the city of Chattanooga. I'm seeing too many needs that need to be addressed. I am so sick and tired of stepping over poor and impoverished people who legitimately could get help from the city government. But if people are absolutely refusing, are slow to do what's right, what is the people's response to what we're finding? Are we okay with this? Evil only prevails when good people, now it says good men, but women as well, when good people choose to do absolutely nothing about what we see. Yeah. Marie, it's not popular. Nobody likes you talking about corruption. Everybody wants to talk about it in the privacy of their own homes. And while people applaud you and people applaud certain others, who wants to step up and really, really hold people accountable? 800-8949. I cannot believe my phones are dry. Our phones are dry. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe that nobody. Christopher Dahl, are you the only one? Cash Petty, are you the only one? The only ones? We're going to continue to talk about it because I found it interesting. As we talk about, in particular, the district that I live in the Avondale Center that still has concrete bleachers. We were told that there wouldn't be any money to remove those concrete bleachers and put in retractable wooden bleachers. Well, lo and behold, last night, when I look at the agenda and I'm following along with the city council meeting, an additional $166,539 found its way to the YFD Avondale Center, on top of another $164,798 that found its way to the Avondale Center. But we don't have any money to remove concrete bleachers, which are a liability. I can't be the only one. Come on. Corruption in the city of Chattanooga. And what are the good people? The people. What are we going to do about it? So many needs need to be addressed. And nobody is willing to talk about what's really going on. Stay tuned for the second half of the segment.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news. Now.
Hamilton County schools are set to open the doors to bids for bus service. The district is working with the Leapfrog Consulting Company. Hamilton County bus service has been a sensitive topic since the Woodmore Elementary bus crash, which killed 6 children. Jeff Bishop was named as the new head law enforcement officer for the TWRA. Bishop has served the agency for 27 years. Captain Bishop says, in part, "I look forward to this new role and continuing my career." He is from Bradley County. And the cafeteria manager for Dalton Middle School was tragically killed in a car crash in Bradley County. Marla Boyd was confirmed as the victim of the wreck. The middle school released a statement saying, "Our cafeteria manager, Miss Marla Boyd, showed kindness, gentleness, and love to each and every student who walked through our cafeteria doors. We ask that you please keep our school family and Marla's family in your thoughts and prayers." Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News Now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Martin Truex Jr. is off the pace and he is headed to the pit lane. Elliott Powers around the outside. Michael McDowell pops a right front tire. Here's Martin Truex to the bottom. Blaney walks him off too. Meanwhile, Chase Elliott went 4 wide on the back straightaway. They're side by side for the lead.
Hear it live on Chattanooga's official NASCAR radio station.
Nougat Radio, 92.7 FM, 95.3 HD4.
The voice of NASCAR.
Merry Christmas. Well, let's take a look at the naughty and nice list. Well, let's see here. There's Sonny, and there's Deb, and even Eddie made the list too. Well, let's look at the naughty list. Well, there's Billy and Greg. If you think you're on the naughty list, stop by Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds and get 70% off select merchandise in the store. Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, 5301 Brainerd Road, Chattanooga.
For your small business, ending the year the right way can set you up for success come January. No need to let end of year panic set in. Easy Books and Taxes can help set up your books or new payroll service so that you can relax and enjoy the holiday season. With 35 years, bookkeeping, individual and business tax preparation, it's easy. With Easy Books and Taxes, you run the business, we keep the books. Call us today at 423-755-0821.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga roofing contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga roofing contractors, a roofing company you can trust. Man, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I worked with my dad on his truck all the time. Just one more bolt to go.
Yeah, wrong bolt. Today's truck ain't your daddy's truck. For repairs on today's vehicles, you need Amco Transmission and Total Car Care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. Stay on the road, not in the garage. Amco Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way. The Thompson Pet way. Yeah, I just put that anywhere.
Hi, this is Scott Schrader. Tune in Saturdays for We've Got You Covered. From finance to fixtures and all things in between, when it comes to your home, we'll help steer you in the right direction. We've got you covered. 10 to 12 every Saturday on Nougat Radio 92.7 FM.
Nougat Radio, Chattanooga weather. Lots of sunshine out there for your afternoon. Chilly, but not as breezy. Highs lower 40s. Tonight, fair. Some late clouds, lows closer to 30. Cloudy Thursday. A few spotty showers will pass through. Highs upper 40s. More scattered showers for Friday. Highs upper 50s and near 60. Looking for a new career? Georgia Northwestern Technical College is where you need to be, featuring over 200 programs. Get focused. Get hired. Spring admissions deadline is December 3rd. More at gntc.edu. And I'm Storm Gene 12, Chief Meteorologist, Pastor 4.
The Radio 92.7.
That familiar voice. That's right. The more constitutionary. Marie Mott with Marie Mott Show. Keeping it real about what I see because I have no loyalties to anyone. My loyalty is only to the people. Why? Because these are our tax dollars. This is our future. These are our neighborhoods. This is our city. This city doesn't belong to the people who come in and out of government. Come on, let's get it right. The city doesn't belong to them. We extend power to them for a time. And for some of these individuals, we extend power to them for far too long. But how is it that we have 10 years that pass by where UTC and the county haven't paid stormwater fees and nobody knows about it until year 10? And we have people who sit on committees, people who work in public works. How do this stuff just slide on by? Now, how long can you not pay your electric power bill? I just want to know. How long can you not pay your EPB bill, your fiber optic bill? How long can you go and not pay your taxes before your water and your lights get cut off? Come on. You know, what would the city of Chattanooga look like if the response to this was everybody refused to pay their sewage bill? So if we're going to give preference to UTC and the county, I vote that everybody stop paying their sewage bill. If we're going to be partial,
Come on. Stop paying your taxes. Are any one of your council persons going to stop the sheriff from coming and putting your stuff on the corner and putting Mama and Papa and Auntie and you on the curb if you refuse to pay? Anybody going to come help you? I say for the UTC students, if UTC doesn't want to pay the debts that it owes, how about if you go to UTC, everybody just stop paying what they owe UTC. I guess they're not doing anything responsible with the money anyway. How do I get to be an adult in life and I have to do what's right whether I want to or not? And we have entities and corporations and that don't have to do the same. How is it that we have a greater expectation for the people than we do for corporations and developers? How do we have a preference for organizations and developers and accounting than we do for the people, the same people whose face we get in front of every 4 years, begging them to fund our campaigns and to put us or keep us in power? And I find it particularly interesting when we talk about the legislative body, that it's a situation where I don't see legislative work happening. Last night was a record. 21 minutes is how quickly we had a meeting, a city council meeting. And the only time generally it extends over an hour is if we have purchases or if we have presentations, right? Struggling to understand. And the interesting thing is that just because I talk about police brutality and I talk about homelessness doesn't mean I'm not crunching numbers too. I am. I'm grateful for Helen Burns Sharp and the work that she has continuously done, not only about pilots, but about TIFs, surplus buildings, and really outlining from a planning perspective what we should be looking for or what we should have in place when it comes to taxpayer dollars and accountability. And when I look at what a seasoned veteran has explained and outlined and put together beautifully, and I can go through the list of recommendations of what she recommends for the safety of the people, the accountability for the taxpayer dollars, and for transparency. And I don't see any of those things happening. And this is 2018, where everybody who's sitting on that city council can pull up that website or sit down with Helen Burns Sharp if they so choose and can educate themselves. 800-8949. I talked about it before we closed out the first part of the segment. We have the Avondale Recreation Center, which is right around the corner from where I was raised. I was raised on Blackford Street. So that's like 2 minutes away. Still in the same district I live in. About a month and a half ago, me and Tom Kunish went over there because we wanted to take measurements of the concrete bleachers, which our councilman was not too happy about us posting pictures of measurements. And the concrete bleachers are so large. I am relatively short. Very, very short. That's okay. I'm tall in spirit. The concrete bleachers are so large, about half of my legs, if I were to sit all the way back in them, half of my legs extend from the bleachers, but they can't touch the floor because they're so large. And if you actually looked at them, they're prefabricated. So they weren't like custom made or handmade. They bought these from someone, I imagine, and installed them. I still don't understand how we ended up with concrete bleachers and whose bright idea that was. And I don't understand how, I don't know, maybe people are so sensitive these days that nobody can just call out stupid ideas as stupid. this is a dumb idea. If nobody told, Chip Henderson has the plans and everything else like that, I don't understand that, but whatever. If nobody told Chip and nobody told Councilman Byrd and nobody told Andy and his staff that concrete bleachers was stupid, I'll tell you right now here on the air, concrete bleachers are stupid. It's an accident absolutely waiting to happen. And so I think it's imperative that we understand what the councilmen and what community members had to say. And when we talk about nothing changed, and the reason why nothing changed is because of, quote unquote, there's no money, or we don't know where this money is going to come from to make this necessary change. And then I can outline it here. Wait, council, here's $10 million you can go get so we can fix those concrete bleachers in Avondale. There's $26 million that you can go collect. And we can fix those concrete bleachers in Avondale. Let's just go back for a moment.
Residents of the Avondale community were thrilled last year when the announcement was made that the city would finally be replacing their 50-year-old recreation facility. But now that the construction is well underway, they realize the gym is not exactly what they had thought they were getting. Newswell's Ashley Henderson was there to find out what they want, why they want the project stopped.
That gymnasium is unacceptable.
As the construction progressed on the new Avondale Recreation and Community Center, residents suddenly realized that the concrete bleachers under construction are not what they expected.
Most of the people were under the understanding that we were going to have retractable or wooden bleachers like any other facility.
But it wasn't just the concrete bleachers that had people concerned.
The size of that gym is inadequate, pure and simple. This is the size of gym you would expect in an elementary school. It's not a full court gym. You will not find another gym in this city or any place else that small.
Commissioner Warren Mackey says that if the project is not halted now and an alternate course agreed upon soon, it may be too late.
This project is going ahead, and if we don't close it down now, we'll get to a point where they'll say, well, it's already done. We've been asking and trying to get in touch with them to say, stop construction, correct the facility you got coming up right now.
But changing even just the bleachers now will prove to be extremely costly.
If we rip everything out, the plumbing and everything has been put into the ground, the bleachers have been put down. So if we rip everything out, you're going to lose probably a little over $500,000 or more trying to replace or rip out. And then where's that money going to come from in the end? Because it was budgeted for $6 million.
A community meeting will be held with the city council next Tuesday to discuss options going forward. In Chattanooga, Ashley Henderson.
Where's that money going to come from? Well, the quotation from Anthony Byrd turned out for the people who came to the city council meeting after that story was actually incorrect. I do believe it was about $350,000 to remove the bleachers. And then, of course, we would have to put in retractable bleachers. And I don't think they ever stated how much that would cost. But in the long term, if we're looking at a child, and in particular, when they put up the plans and stuff like that, they didn't put them up in the beginning. Or make them available to the public from the very beginning. According to people, they made them available to those who came to the community meetings, which is not transparency, because when it comes to taxpayer investment, everybody who pays taxes paid for the YFD Center in Avondale to be built. So the information for that project should have been made public for everybody in the city of Chattanooga on chattanooga.gov from the very beginning. Again, transparency is not a forte of our executive branch administration, nor is it a forte in our city council. And I find it absolutely questionable, because the question I ask the simple and the basic questions. If we find out that $2 million has been wasted, who pocketed that money? Are they going to give it back because they didn't render the services that we have requested? Come on. Anybody want to ask that question? Who really is responsible? That's what the city auditor said. We've got to figure out where the accountability lies. It's not hard for me. If the company fails, who's responsible? Well, we can say the workers, but I'd say the CEO. The CEO is responsible. Hello, somebody. The CEO is responsible for how the corporation is being ran. And as much as people, I've heard Ledford say this, Councilman Ledford, so many times, the proud small business owner. This is business. This is a business. Well, if this is a business, it's no wonder why this is the 7th worst ran corporation, municipal corporation in the nation. And it's absolutely no surprise that we continue to see what I view as corruption. Because who's going to pay this money back? Is the mayor going to make sure that the taxpayer dollars find its way back into the budget or not? Is he going to come out and offer a press statement apologizing for the mismanagement of funds under his watch because he is responsible for this government? Are any of the city council members going to take a step forward and say that they apologize for allowing their... Where are the checks and balances? Are they even in existence? Or are people just doing what they want to do? 4 years, 10 years, so long. These problems persist and nobody is doing anything about it. The Times Free Press exposes it. Me and David Toulis talk about it in our show, and people call us nuts. News Channel 9, News Channel 12, we're uncovering it, and I'm actually pretty proud of the Times Free Press here lately because they've been doing a rather excellent job of talking about things from a rather controversial standpoint. Because there's no reason for us to lie about what we see. Let's look at this YFD Center. Because for there to be an additional $350,000 that made its way into this project, but we still have concrete bleachers. Now, they said that they're going to put seating atop of the concrete bleachers and shift the court away from the bleachers. But why not just remove the concrete bleachers completely and give us what the people asked for? And figuring out it's not the people's problem that you can't figure out how to get this money and that the council person didn't do their job and look at the plans themselves. It's not the people's fault. It's not the people's fault that nobody wants to go get this money with the exception of Councilman Gilbert. I got to give the man credit. He's been asking a lot of questions lately, but he's been the only one. Councilwoman Burrs and Ledford just want to make it all disappear. Is that not rackets? 800-8949 if you want to call and talk to me. But on your way home or while you're driving around today, wherever you're going, take a look. Wherever you are in this city, do you notice streets with potholes that are tearing up your vehicle? Do you notice empty lots that could be used as community gardens? Do you notice communities that don't have grocery stores or pharmacies? What do you see? Do you see children walking with nowhere to play and nothing to do after they get out of school? What do you see? I really want you, don't just drive. Don't just focus on trying to get home or going to the grocery store to figure out what you're going to have for dinner. Take a look around you. If you work downtown or work near downtown, maybe if you're walking, take a look around. And what do you see? Take a look and see, count how many homeless people you see before you get home. Take a look at what you see and be honest with yourself. Are you happy about it? And with us walking away from so much money, how can we chastise the youth if we don't invest in them? How can we criminalize the poor if we won't house them? Take a look around. Are we happy with what's happening in the city of Chattanooga? And are we going to allow people to get off of the hook for the misappropriation of taxpayer dollars? And why is it that unless the FBI gets involved, generally nobody ever pays? And it's quite interesting that we have people in particular, even with this mismanagement of funds, part of that impacted our YFD centers. Who sits on the committee for YFD centers? I do believe that is Anthony Byrd and Demetrius Coonrod, if I'm not mistaken. How did this slip past them? They've been there for about 2 years now. So if you didn't know, what is your next step now? That you found out that this impact of misappropriation of funds, $2 million, we don't even have to talk about the $9 million or the $26 million. If we talk just about the $2 million that's been misappropriated, that's enough money to replace the bleachers in the Avondale Center and make repairs to any of the other needs of the centers here in the city of Chattanooga as well. Yesterday proved by the silence, and Dr. Martin Luther King stated, it comes a time when silence becomes complicitness. The silence, the only person who said anything was, well, nobody said anything, but the only person who's asked questions is Councilman Gilbert. And even last night, no one, not Mitchell, not Ledford, Burrs was not there. Ken Smith, he was writing, but did he say anything? No. None of them. Nobody opened up their mouth and said a word. And of course, they adjourned swiftly. It's Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show. And it's quite sad that no one called and talked to me today about corruption. And folks, we can complain all day long. Yeah, we can complain. But if we're not going to get up and do anything about what we see, then maybe, just maybe we're getting what we deserve. I hope not. I hope that I'll see people do something beyond talking about this and really are interested and maybe will make their way to the city council meeting this upcoming Tuesday to apply some pressure on our city council. It's your girl Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show, talking about what's going on here in the city of Chattanooga. No loyalties to anybody but the people. If no one is taking the time today to tell you that they love you, I love you. And guess what? There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow back on the Marie Mott Show.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Hamilton County schools are set to open the doors to bids for bus service. The district is working with the Leapfrog Consulting Company. Hamilton County bus service has been a sensitive topic since the Woodmore Elementary bus crash, which killed 6 children. Jeff Bishop was named as the new head law enforcement officer for the TWRA. Bishop has served the agency for 27 years. Captain Bishop says, in part, I look forward to this new role and continuing my career. He is from Bradley County. And the cafeteria manager for Dalton Middle School was tragically killed in a car crash in Bradley County. Marla Boyd was confirmed as the victim of the wreck. The middle school released a statement saying our cafeteria manager, Miss Marla Boyd, showed kindness, gentleness, and love to each and every student who walked through our cafeteria doors. We ask that you please keep our school family and Marla's family in your thoughts and prayers. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News now.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio, Chattanooga.